Let's get down to business.
And come here, tell me, so training, you would have trained a lot of male athletes, and then obviously with your hockey girls being female, is there anything, say you could, anything that jumped out training female athletes versus training male athletes? It's always a hot topic, and for you, has plenty of practical experience. Is there any advice that you can give to any listeners, if they're switching from genders at all? Is there anything at all? If not...
Yeah, there's loads, yeah. Again, it goes back to the earlier point about jumping from one sport to another, jumping from male to female. Look at the experts in the field and figure out what they've found works rather than trying to figure it all out yourself from scratch. So I looked at, what books there were and different things. There was a very good one from Mark Verstegen, who formed Exos. I think it was Core Performance for Women. He wrote a book, Core Performance, and then there was a secondary version for women. And I'd used Core Performance before, and I found this. I said, well, this is perfect, because I know that last book inside out. Yeah. So now I can just see what are the intricacies he's talking about, and he's gone away and solved this problem and written a book on it. So why don't I just read the bloody book? One of the big things he talked about was typically to handle a little bit more volume than guys. So, if we're looking at strength work, for male athletes, and we're kind of talking in the 3 to 5 or 3 to 6 rep range, typically your females, you might want to push them more the 5 to 8 rep range. Or again, for your guys, if you're talking hypertrophy 10 to 12s, get your females going 12 to 15. Do a little bit more dumbbell work rather than barbell work, because typically speaking, they don't have the same training age in the weight room as what guys do. I imagine that's already changed, because fitness industry and gym, it's just there's transition year students that's their sport now, whereas when we were in transition year, even if you were playing high level sport and you went to the gym, you were a bit of an outlier, whereas now gym is people's sport. So it's probably not going to be as much of an issue. I see most women I see these days are more competent with a barbell than fellas are. But that was one of the things, was use more dumbbell work than bars, because if they get into trouble on an incline dumbbell press or something, they can just throw them to the side. That was really good advice, and I'd still employ that a lot with beginner lifters, male and female. So there was a couple of key technical things like that. Then on the coaching side of things, in Australia, it was the coaching style was very aggressive, very male-driven environment, lots of testosterone, loud noises, you're just and that's how you got the best out of players, and you didn't necessarily care whether a player liked you or not, or whether he disliked you, as long as he did the work. And if it meant roaring at him and calling him every name under the sun to get him to do the work, in that kind of male environment, that works. And they
coaching style was a big thing. It's kind of know your audience.
Yeah, but it was one of the best things that ever happened to me, because I relied very heavily on that, particularly coaching academy kids. It was, and I talked about me and Steve, and I was definitely the bad cop. But we got the work done. Yeah. I came back and there was no way I could chat to a group of females like that, not in a million years. Yeah. So I'd be standing in the middle of the gym floor and I'd find myself, and then I'd go, no, and I'd have to be like, oh my God, how am I going to address this?
Changing your coaching style.
Totally changing my coaching style. Yeah.